everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me MG if you'd like. Today I have for you my October reading wrap up. I only read 11 books during the month, but some of them were quite chunky. I'm gonna try not to ramble too much so that this video might be a bit shorter. I feel like I ramble a lot in my wrap ups, and I would like to be a little bit more chill about them so that they're not, 30, 40, 50 minutes long. So we're gonna try and keep this one a little bit short, and let's just get into talking about the books. So the first book that I read during October was The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This was my own book club's pick. If you didn't know, I have recently started a book club called the Honeybee Society, and we read dark academia books, one for every 2 months. So The Secret History was our very first pick, and it was for September and October. Didn't read it in September, so I had to get to it in October, and I did not like this book whatsoever. I thought it was way too long. None of the characters were even remotely interesting. Like, I don't need characters to be likable, but I need them to be interesting, and I found every one of them to be so boring. And to top it all off, most of the action happened off page. So, like, the big climactic events we didn't see. We just heard about them later on when other characters were talking to our main character about what happened. And I genuinely would have DNF'd it like 10% in if it had not been my book club pick, but I read the whole thing. And I vlogged it because it was my book club pick. So if you want to see my misery, I will leave the vlog down in the description for you to check out. It's a doozy, but yeah, did not start the month off great. Then I picked up 6 Great Sherlock Holmes Stories by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and this was fine. I thought they were fun stories. A couple of them I had read before, like A Scandal in Bohemia. The other ones in this collection are The Red-Headed League, The Adventure of the Speckled Band, The Adventure of the Engineer's Thumb, The Final Problem, and The Adventure of the Empty House. So I just don't think Sherlock Holmes is a character I like to read about. I have seen the movies with Robert Downey Jr., I've seen some of Elementary, I've seen a bit of BBC's Sherlock series, and I've had fun with those. I think I just prefer Sherlock Holmes in a visual medium more than I enjoy as books. I am going to keep this because it is a Dover Thrift Edition, and that is an edition of books that I collect. I've got like 30 or 40 of them at this point, and it's going to look nice on the shelf with all of those. But yeah, this was fun, but ultimately not really my vibe. The next 3 books I'm going to talk about were part of a vlog that I did where I read spooky mid-grade books, although one of them turned out to be a little bit more YA than mid-grade, but that's fine. But I will leave a link to that vlog in the description as well, so you can check that out if you're curious. The first book for that vlog that I picked up was Small Spaces by Catherine Arden, and I had a phenomenal time reading this. I thought it was so good. It wasn't perfect. I definitely have a couple of, not even criticisms, just like critiques on things, but I thought it was exactly the spooky atmosphere that I wanted for October, and I'm very curious as to how the rest of the series is going to go, because there are 3 more books in this series, and very short. I feel like I can blow through them when I actually get around to reading them, which is great because I am someone who tends to let series linger, and I'm trying to be better about that, so hopefully this is one that I can pick up again soon. Then I picked up Ghost Squad by Claribel A. Ortega, and this was less of the creepy spooky, which is what I was hoping for, and it was more of like a cute spooky kind of vibe, which is fun. It just wasn't the mood that I was in, and I feel like that did not like taint my reading experience, but I feel like I would have enjoyed this more if I was in the mood for the cute spooky instead of the creepy spooky, but this was still really fun. I enjoyed the ghosts in it because it's called Ghost Squad. There's a lot of ghosts, and I thought they were really fun. This also deals a lot with family, which is a theme that I really enjoy reading about. And Claribel A. Ortega has another series. This is a standalone, but she has a series called Witchlings that is like the favorite series ever of Jess from the Hex Library, which I actually realized halfway through my vlog that all of the books in that vlog were ones that Jess really enjoyed, but it's fine. She really enjoys spooky mid-grade books, so that makes sense. But yeah, I do want to check out Witchlings by this author is the gist of things, so very much enjoyed this one, but it wasn't exactly what I was going for. And then the book that was a little bit more YA than middle grade, but it's okay, was The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud. This is the first book in the Lockwood & Co. series. I have not seen the TV show, but I've heard great things about that. I'm probably not going to watch it if I'm being entirely honest, but this is the first book in a 5-book series, and this was good. I think it was my least favorite out of the 3 books that I read for that vlog. I just didn't love the writing style. The story itself was fine, but the way it was written kind of just felt like it kept me at a distance and I didn't feel fully invested in it. But it definitely delivered on the creepy vibes, which is great. But if you want even more in-depth thoughts on the previous 2 books and this book, then definitely check out that vlog that I mentioned. The next book that I picked up was A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana, and it was kind of serendipitous of me to get my hands on this book because this was a book club pick for the Bujo Buddies book club, which has since been renamed to the Goober Book Club. I don't know, I'm just probably gonna keep referring to it as the Bujo Buddies book club. But I was on the wait list for this book at my library, and it was most definitely not going to come in time for me to read it in October. I think by the time October started, because I had requested it mid-September when I found out that this was going to be the book club pick, and when October started, I was like 7 or 8 weeks out from it. So definitely not the best situation to be in for a book club. But then one day, a little free library popped up literally a block from my house, and this was in it. And I was like, oh, perfect. So I grabbed it and I read it, and I had a fun time with this. I didn't absolutely love it. I definitely have some criticisms and critiques on this story, things that I felt like weren't quite right, but I still had a very fun time with it. This, I believe, yeah, I will say I liked this one better than the first one, which it's not a series, but they're by the same author and they like have very similar covers. I don't know if they like technically take place in the same world, but I think they do. I don't know, but that is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, I think is the title. I hope I got that right. But that one I wasn't a huge fan of. This one I definitely enjoyed more. But I think I'm gonna see if my friend Tiara wants this because I think she would really enjoy it. So I'm going to pass this copy on to her probably. Then I read Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. If you are unaware, I read Ninth House in August because I was doing an author taste test. I had never read from Leigh Bardugo before, so I picked up a few of her books and tried them out. And Ninth House was kind of a weird one where the entire time I was reading it, I was unsure how I actually felt about it, like if I liked it or not. And by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, actually, I think I'm obsessed with this. This book and this series really, it's kind of mostly vibes for me. Like, I'm not too invested in the details of it. Like, I'm not nitpicky on the world building or anything. But the vibes are so immaculate. It is dark academia horror with magic, and it takes place at Yale, which is a really cool setting, especially in the autumn. And I will say I liked Ninth House a little bit better, but this one was still really good, and I really want more. I believe there were supposed to be like a bajillion books in this series, like it was supposed to be very long, and then it was like shortened down to 5 books, and then shortened again. There's a motorcycle going by. Rude. So I think it's now just going to be a trilogy, so only one more book left, and I hope we get information on that soon, because I really, really want it. But I just loved this. I ate it up. The dynamic between Alex and Darlington genuinely makes me feel feral. Like, I'm so obsessed with it. So yeah, I really enjoyed my time with this book. Then I picked up Court of Shadows by Madeline Rue. This is the second book in the House of Furies trilogy. This is historical fantasy set in the early 1800s in England, and our main character is a maid at Cold Thistle House, which is just like a not like hotel, but like kind of almost sort of like people come to stay there. And then bad things happen because the people who work there are not human. And I can't really give any more details than that because this is the second book in a series and I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, this was really good. I didn't like it as much as the first one, same as Hellbent, but it was like very close. It was only like a few things that made me put it a notch lower than the first book. And the third book, the final one in the trilogy, is actually on my TBR for November. So look at me, finishing out series. Who am I? Let me not get too ahead of myself. I have plans to finish out the series. We will see if that actually happens though, but at the very least I continued one. Next, I have a very special book to talk to you about, and that is Incarnate's Rise by Crystal Kiesler. If you don't know, Crystal is one of my dearest friends. I love her so much. She is a YouTuber here. I will link her channel down below for you to check out. And this is her debut novel that she just released, and I've read it a bajillion times in like the editing process because I was a beta reader for her, and then I also did the copy edits for her. Yes, we did miss a couple that I, of course, noticed while I was reading this, which happens a lot. I mean, I'm always finding errors in books. I feel like I just have a really good eye for that sort of thing, but it stings a little bit because I did the copy edits on this. Regardless, this is a really fun time. This is kind of akin to Underworld or Blade or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like those late 90s, early 2000s action adventure vampire stories. There are, of course, vampires, there's werewolves, there's magic. It's really, really good, guys. I cannot recommend this highly enough, not just because it is my friend's book, but because it's genuinely so good. And of course, I vlogged my experience reading this, so you can check that out as well. It's fantastic. If you take anything away from this video, just take away that you need to read this book. Also, just look at the cover. Is that not the most stunning cover ever? The, like, bloody chalice as the eye in Rise? It's amazing. It's beautiful. And, like, the spine, oh, stunning. She's gonna look so good on my shelf. So, yeah. Go read this book, guys. Then I picked up In an Absent Dream by Seanan McGuire, and this is the fourth book in the Wayward Children series, and it's just as good as the other ones. I will admit that to start, I wasn't 100% obsessed with it the way I was with the first three books in the series. It did take me a minute to get into it, but once I was getting into the story, especially that final part, I was absolutely obsessed. It's amazing. Seanan McGuire is a master at her craft. The way that she's able to fit so much character work and plot and world building into these novellas is just awe-inspiring, and I just really love this series, and I cannot wait to read more. I feel like there's a million of them. It genuinely might be number like 18 or something coming out early next year, so I've got plenty to catch up on, and I'm just gonna enjoy every single one of them, I think. And the final book that I read in the month of October was Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray. This is the second book in the Diviners series. This is another historical fantasy. I read a lot of that because it's probably my favorite fantasy subgenre, at least at the moment. I also really do enjoy portal fantasy, but I'm just in a historical fantasy mood, I guess. But this takes place in 1920s New York with characters who are diviners, and they're just people with magical abilities. Our main character, Evie, can read the history of objects that she touches and like kind of glean information on the owners of said objects. But there are many diviners in this book, in this series, and it's a very good ensemble cast. I do feel like this book was a little bit longer than it needed to be, but that's okay. I still had a really fun time. It definitely made me tear up, which I did not expect, but there was a reveal that I'm a little bit mad at myself for not seeing coming, because once I got to that reveal, I was like, oh my god, I know where the breadcrumbs are. I saw all the foreshadowing. I just didn't realize it was foreshadowing until the reveal happened, and it was a very sad reveal. So, I did really enjoy this book, and I am excited to read the rest of the series. I don't know when I'm going to get to them because they are very long books, and it's a little bit intimidating to me at the moment, but I do want to get to them sooner rather than later. So, those are all of the books that I read in October. Not a single DNF, although it came close with The Secret History. But I persevered, I got through, and even though it was a rough start to the month, it got infinitely better with some other reads. Let me know down in the comments what you guys read during October. I would love to chat about books. But if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone!